Hi, everyone. Alan Pentico, Executive Director for the Southern California Rental Housing Association. I'm here to do another profile with one of our longtime members. If you remember the association, we are a 102-year-old association for independent, we're a 102-year-old organization for rental housing owners, providers, and people who service the industry. We cover San Diego, Imperial, and Southern Riverside County. Our focus and attention is on advocacy and education. We strive to educate our members to do the right thing. That way we don't have to advocate, but we're always there to do so. Today, again, I have Kim Arnold with the Atlantic and Pacific Management Company. They've been longtime members of the association. Kim and I have known each other for a number of years, and it's so glad to run into you during the holidays, Kim, because I've been wanting to do a profile on you for so long. So this is really great. Do you want to tell us about yourself, Kim, and Atlantic and Pacific Management?
Sure, Alan. Thank you so much for having me. I am a certified property manager and a California real estate broker, and I'm currently with Atlantic and Pacific Management. I'm a regional supervisor, and I've been with them for quite some time. This is my 26th year. What I love about the company is that we are a family-owned management company, and we have a footprint here in California, San Diego County, and Inland Empire. We have about 2,000 rental units here, 9 communities. We also manage a portfolio of HOAs, homeowners associations. We have about 20 accounts, and we just are dabbling now into retail management as well. So that is something new for me that I am learning this year as well.
That's the crazy fun thing about this industry. You're always learning something new. There's always a new avenue you can go to. I know for me, that's one of the reasons I came into the industry. I worked for an elected official, and I did policy, and I had health and human services to public safety, in some regards IT, and then housing. And I just wanted to focus on housing. And then I came over here and found out housing is not just housing, it's everything else as well, just from the angle of housing. But in the real estate industry is the same. There's a lot of things that are consistent from commercial to residential, but there's so many things that are going to diverging directions, and it's amazing. It always keeps you on your toes.
Very true. Very true.
Yeah. So tell me, Kim, you've been around the association for a number of years. What have you found valuable about the association? Why did you come to the association?
Well, I think my first dabble with the association was back in 1996. It's right when I started with Atlantic and Pacific as a leasing consultant, and we were part of the Mark of Excellence Awards. We entered our community. So my manager, who I just started working with, just basically dropped that project in my lap, and I had to come up with that whole portfolio for Apartment Community of the Year. And we took 3rd place, so I was super excited because I didn't know what I was doing at the time. I had just been in the industry, actually my 4th year. So believe it or not, if you're doing the math from the 26 and the 4, I've been doing this for 30 years in this business. And I have a very big birthday this year, so I started when I was 20. So
I've been to that big birthday recently myself.
And attended some of the Mark of Excellence Awards, and just kind of moved on from there. Sorry, go ahead.
No. For those of you watching that are not familiar, the Mark of Excellence Awards are our annual awards program where we honor the best of the best in the industry. Who's setting the mark of excellence in the industry? We've been doing it for 30 some years now, and it's a huge success, and always growing, always changing. And I'm so glad that you guys took 3rd and that you're still around. And it's a great event. We actually just did it again in December, our first one back in person. It was a huge success, and it was such a fun evening. So I'm very glad that you mentioned that, because that's something most people don't recognize. What brought you into our industry? You said you started off pretty young as a leasing agent.
Believe it or not, I wanted to move out of my parents' house. and I think that's funny because our business is housing, and what a lot of people come to realize and come to love is that it's a job and it's a home. So a friend of mine, I was actually managing a Mexican restaurant up in Temecula, and a friend of mine came to me and said, "Oh, we have this opening with a leasing agent. You can get an apartment discount. You should do it because you're great with people." And I was like, "Okay, I'll give it a try." And I was still in college at the time. And what was wonderful with that job is I was able to go to school full time on Tuesdays and Thursdays with full 12 units. And then I worked Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So I had a full-time job, full-time working at school, and I was having the best of times. I mean, it was great learning the business, started from there, then worked up to assistant manager. And then, finally made it back down to San Diego after a few years working up in the Inland Empire, and just kind of moved on from there.
Do you find differences in the market between Inland Empire and San Diego?
I originally would have said yes, but they have exploded in growth and rental growth, population growth in the past, year. We've only been up there for about 5 years. We built our new property, Pacific Landing, up there, and the rents were a little bit lower at the time. Otherwise, operations was very much the same, but they have really just exploded, and things have gotten quite tight up there, just like it's always been here in San Diego.
Yeah, we 10 years ago, we had San Diego and Imperial County, which we've had for decades. And we had several folks up there who had single family homes and condos they were renting out. And then we had some other folks, the properties basically come to us and said, we've got nobody servicing up here. Would you guys come up here? And we're thrilled to do it. We're glad to be up there. We have our quarter day conferences up there now on a regular basis, and we're providing more. We've got some events planned for this coming year in 2022. It's growing. It's a growing area, and we're providing more and more services up there because of that, and that's good to see. I mean, certainly we need more housing in California, everywhere, quite honestly, and that's a great market to move into. It's been a really fun experience for us at the association to be able to reach out and service our members out there.
Definitely.
Do you have a favorite story? I like to ask this question. Do you have a favorite story where you or somebody in your organization went above and beyond for a resident?
I absolutely do. This was Christmas of 2020. So we were at the height of COVID, and things were very strange. A lot of people had lost their jobs. And we had a community manager at our Vista property, Shadow Ridge Summer Wind, and her name also happens to be Kim. And she knew there was a struggling resident who had a young child and another one on the way, and they both were working in the service industry, so they had lost their jobs with all the restaurant shutdowns. And she nominated them for one of the radio awards to make their Christmas, and worked with the radio station. It ended up being a surprise, and they ended up getting, I think, close to $1,000 in gift cards to, Target, grocery, food, gift cards, tickets to Legoland. And it made their holiday season where, had she not done that extra step above and beyond, they would have had nothing. So that's one of the things I love about a lot of our community managers is, first off, they've been with the company a long time. Like I said, family owned and operated. We have a lot of longevity, and she cares for the residents. And I think a lot of people always, think of us as the big bad landlords. We have such a nasty rap sometimes, but I have so many of my staff that bend over backwards for the residents. And this particular one, just the smile on those residents' faces and the kid when, they delivered packages and packages and gift cards. And, it made their whole holiday season.
Yeah, I asked the question. I saw your reaction when I did, because I know you weren't expecting me to ask that question. And I'm asking it more and more because the industry does have a bad rap. It's the one person that gets hit in the news, that's such a bad example, and it's every industry. It's not just ours. There's doctors, lawyers, politicians, police officers. There's always a bad apple in every group, and unfortunately for us, that they always seem to focus on that. So I like to ask that question now, because more and more through COVID, I've talked to people and have found out how much we go above and beyond. And I have to tell you, in my time with the industry, we don't talk about that. It's just
Right.
what we do in terms of how we treat our residents and things like that. And we just think that's a normal thing, and it really isn't. And it's one of the things I'm trying to encourage more and more of our members. Tell those stories, because it is important. There's so many, for every one bad story you hear, there's 1,000 good stories that you don't. How the industry's gone above and beyond. I do a lot of, like you said, the Mark of Excellence Awards. What we do is we'll trade interviews and things like that, judging for those awards with other associations around the country. So I've done judging for Washington and Utah and Colorado and New Mexico and others. And we talk about it everywhere you go. Everyone has a story like that, things that they've done. So it's important that we talk about that more. I appreciate you taking the time out today, Kim. Is there anything that you would like to say, any message you'd like to deliver to your colleagues in the industry and to people interested in getting into the industry?
I would definitely say keep the faith. Things are challenging right now. You know, we definitely appreciate the Southern California Rental Housing Association, because when I go to brain fog and I forget something, I know I can shoot straight onto your website, right onto the white papers, you know, make a phone call to somebody there, and I'll have an answer instantaneously. So use your resources. You guys have so many resources out there, your education, your white papers. What I love about you guys mostly is your advocacy. You know, the work that you do for us legislatively. You are our voice against the California legislators up in Sacramento. We certainly appreciate that. But for new people coming into the business, this is a career. I think a lot of us never thought about it when we got into it. I mean, for me, I was still in college. I had plans to go to law school after I got my 4-year degree, but then I just kept moving up the ladder, and here I am now. You know, I didn't go to school to intend on being a property manager or regional supervisor. This was never on my radar. But there are classes out there now. Colleges are offering programs. We've become highly professionalized, and these associations, the professional associations, you know, can help keep us on track and keep us educated. So
yeah, and I'm glad you mentioned, yeah, before we go, I'm glad you mentioned the education. The association now has a partnership with San Diego State University for students enrolled in their real estate program. We're offering a student membership, which gives them access to a lot of our tools and resources and activities to begin their networking and understanding how the industry works on a day-to-day basis and things like that. So if you're a student watching this, reach out to us, let us know. We're happy to partner up with you and get you going. Thanks so much, Kim. I really appreciate you taking the time out, and it's always great to talk to you.
Anytime. Thank you, Alan. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, right. For everyone watching, for more information about the association, go to www.socalrha.org and be sure to visit our YouTube channel for other videos like this. Thanks, everyone.